Yo, buddy, the review is here. I am Peripheral and welcome to the channel, guys. And today we will be reviewing Avengers Endgame. Where do I begin? So, let's start with unpopular opinions. And you know what? These are not unpopular opinions that are coming from me. I've been hearing that these have been opinions from a lot of maybe other reviewers or people in general. And a lot of it is this the debacle over the runtime, the 3 hours. Is the 3 hours too much? Is it too much screen time? And for me, there was never one point where I was bored. None whatsoever. The first act is, there is downtime, and the film is marketed as that. I mean, half the universe was perished, perished, gone, nothing, zilch, dust. So it's completely fine. Because there's nothing really happening, and there is that downtime, and it's completely fine. And what fills the time in the first act so well is the interactions between Iron Man and Nebula. That whole relationship there was blossoming in the beginning of the film, and I thought it was great because you had the Iron Man and you had the parallel of him talking to someone who's kind of similar to him, not emotionally but maybe physically, so there was a good dynamic between those two characters there, and I enjoyed it. And yeah, the beginning was it was a lot of fun, and they had to do this to build up the second act. The second act was nuts, completely bonkers. Absolutely just out of this world. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to see anything like this for a very, very long time. At least, I'll be honest with you, I'm calling at least 5 to 10 years until I see something as good as this film's second and third act, And, oh man, and also, I forgot in the first act there is a big twist. Everyone that was watching was just like, what? Like we after that point, where a prediction theory had, the filmmakers just got in a big ball, scrunched it up, and just threw it over their shoulder, because at that moment in time, none of the audience knew what the hell was going to happen in this film, and that was the most intriguing thing about it. Everything was. There was such a mysterious element to Avengers Endgame, and that's what made it so compelling to watch. So yeah, and I'll talk about 4 performances that, for me, the whole cast was epic. They all get a 10 out of 10, but 4 that really held this film together, or maybe 5. Let's go with 5. I'd say Black Widow, Hawkeye, Hawkeye, Hulk, Cap, and Iron Man. Those performances, they held the story together, and ultimately, I see Hulk, Hawkeye, and Black Widow as co-existing storylines within Avengers Endgame, and then you have the main story that is with Iron Man and with Cap, and their stories coming full circle. And I think that I think there's some people that ask a little bit too much, because they say, oh, there's plot holes with this and there's plot holes with that, because traditionally speaking, you only add elements of making a character likable with only 2. If you're making just a standard film, you pay your attention to your protagonist and your antagonist, and you work on them, the dynamic between them two. But within this film, the filmmakers are being so ballsy that they've picked 5 characters to work off. And it's nuts. Completely nuts. So yeah, big thing that happens in the first act. Great character arcs with those 5 characters that I just mentioned. And boy, oh boy, that last battle, it was just 1 hour of complete insanity. Like I said, you will not see anything that battle sequence like that for years. You won't see anything like that for a long time. For a long time. Thinking about it, yeah, you won't, because the MCU now is in this place. So no, you won't see that for a very long time. But yeah, Thanos was just cunning as always. He's even more menacing in this film. You know, he's just so much more of a bastard in this film than what he was. You know, because he just doesn't regret anything. Just horrible human being. Not even a human being. He's a, whatever he is, he's like some kind of deviant eternal. But no, there's so many, honestly, there's just so many twists and turns along the way that you just cannot see coming. And they done something very interesting with Iron Man's character. Like I said, Iron Man and Cap, they are the main centerpiece of this film. And traditionally in every story you have a character that has a want. They want something, don't they? You know, without spoiling it, they want something and they want to achieve that. But then what happens is that their want becomes a need. And that's the changing process. That's where the character sees a better perspective on life, and they realize, oh, I didn't want this, I wanted this. I didn't want this, I wanted that, basically. And I'll go into more detail about what I just mentioned about Iron Man in my spoiler review. Steve Rogers was brilliant as Cap, absolutely amazing. This was Avengers Endgame really is the end. It really is. It lives up to its name. And man, I have to admit, I cried so many times during this film. Just the moments, the acting, they were just dealt with such delicacy, and just so much care, you know. And for me, Avengers Endgame is a better film than Infinity War. I've heard people actually say Infinity War's better, but this is, for me, for now, as it stands, this is the best film of all time that I have ever seen. For me, this is the best film I've ever seen. That last 1 hour will leave your jaw on the floor. I've never been on the edge of my seat. Honestly, I've never been on the edge of my seat. Just I thought, oh man, I was just right there with them. You know, I was just right there with them because they done everything right. They build up the characters brilliantly. You know, within that first hour in that first hour, they made us feel the empathy for the characters. So when we got to the good stuff, the 1 hour, it was some of the most mesmerizing things you'd ever seen in your life. So for now, I have to say that Avengers Endgame is just shockingly good. I'd give it a 10 out of 10. And the ending will be the ending of this film, and what happens to 2 certain characters in this film will be etched into your mind forever. This is how much of an effect it will have on you. And you know what? This film has completely inspired me. For those of you that don't know, I'm into acting, and I'm also into producing, directing and writing. This has just inspired me to do more, you know. And when the whole reason why I'm doing these videos or acting or any other in the dramatic arts is because I remember being 12 years old, and I remember sitting there with my dad and watching the first Iron Man, and that was it. That was a turning point, and I've been so grateful for it. You know, it's been everything has come full circle with itself. You know, and if I ever get the time, if I ever get the chance all the time, you know, I make that like as if I got an Infinity Stone, but you know, if I ever got the moment to just thank thank these filmmakers for what they've done, it's unprecedented. You know, when have you ever heard of a 22 movie franchise? It's never been done before until this, and I really hope that Robert Downey Jr. You know, I hope he's nominated for an Academy Award. You know, there is this niche that, oh, you know, actors can't be this, that, and the other. But for this performance, it was just absolutely amazing, you know. I'll say this as well, 4 was great. The whole cast is brilliant. The whole thing is just boom. But anyway, look, that concludes this review. You will be seeing a spoiler review, and that will be coming afternoon time, 4:30 on Sunday, and there I can really just dive into, because you know, there's so many amazing things that happened to this, and we could just talk about it there, and I can go into a little bit more detail about the choices that they made, and how ultimately how they all brought together to make it one of the best films of all time. So yeah, please like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Bada bing, bada boom. I'll see you